Hello, now we're going to do a dramatic recreation of repairing an Anne Shirley doll finger. I hope you can't tell which one I repaired, but anyway, I did the index finger. When Mary Lou arrived, her index finger was broken off. So, here's what I did. A lot of times with Anne Shirley's, their arms, when they were later made, were no longer composition because their fingers were so brittle. They were made of this harder stuff. And that stuff, by harder, I mean it is really hard. With some of the Anne Shirleys, you could take a pin and you could just work it in there and drill down by twisting and then cut that pin off and use that to anchor and build a foundation from the hand into the new finger. But with these new Anne Shirleys, I discovered you need some hardware. So I got the smallest drill bit that I could find, and you got to just be really careful because you don't want to be drilled through her hand or yours. So you got to just be really careful and drill down in about 1/4 of an inch. Go slow. Don't hurt yourself. I'm not liable if you do. And then the hole you get is going to be too big for a pin. So I have to be very resourceful. I live in the boonies in Iowa, and I'm very frugal. So I just, the worker guys, the city guys, they left flags in my front lawn, so I get those, and I like them because they're thinner than irons, than wire hangers, but they're sturdy. But they're still a little bit too thick for that hole, so I sand the edge. It doesn't take much. Just turn it into a little bit of a point. I clip the finger off, the wire off that I'm going to use, and it's just a very small piece, like that. And then once I have it, I curve it because Anne Shirley fingers are curved. And if you don't curve that wire, you're going to have a wire come poking out. And you don't want that. So then what I do is I use an epoxy. The one I happen to use is Milliput. There's something else that other people use, and I just haven't tried it yet. Right now I use Milliput. And you mix the two clays together until they're thoroughly mixed. I form them into kind of a worm, kind of like twice the length of the finger, because you can't work the wire once it's affixed into the finger, into this formed finger. It'll just mess it up. So here's the wire, here's the clay, I work the epoxy down on, and I form it. And while I'm forming it, I will lickety-split, get this out and go like this and shape it and kind of blend it in. I keep my fingers wet because it helps to blend, but you got to be careful because it'll give you white fingerprints to touch the doll. Form it, form it, form it, and while it's forming, I also use a toothpick to kind of make the little fingernail indentation, and then I mean it's really not that hard. This one went really smoothly for me. After a couple dozen, I'm getting better. So then you let that dry for 24 hours because why not? And once it's dry, it's not going to be perfect. So I find a handy tool is an emery board because they're stiff, they're skinny, and they can fit in between these little fingers so you can get it down just right. At that point, the finger will be white. So then I just get my regular old craft paints. And this is my favorite, but I mix them up till they're the right shade. And I put some onto my finger and I tap it. I'm not going to I don't airbrush. That's just me. But anyway, I tap it because I don't want brush strokes. I may brush it on initially, but then I tap it. I let that dry, and once I'm happy with it, a lot of Anne Shirley's, this one did not have that orange fingernail polish. Now, if you put this on, it's going to be a flat orange and it's not going to look good. Handy tip. Mix it with your craft varnish. I can't find my lid. Mix it with your craft varnish. It makes a sheer orange. Paint that on, let it dry, and then tap varnish over the whole finger so it's a shiny finish like the rest. You will get good at this. It's not hard. It's just time consuming. If you get good at this and you want to move to the middle of nowhere, come to Iowa. I will have you rebuild my fingers so I can focus on clothes, which is my favorite thing to do. And you know what else is my favorite? You. Thank you. Goodbye.